Tiny, as you can see. How many washers and dryers are in there?
There's probably like
8 washers?
8 washers, which sometimes half of them are broken down. There's only 8 dryers. Sometimes half of those are broken down. There's only 2 showers, as you can see over there.
And if you think you're going to get any privacy in them showers, you can forget it.
Yeah.
And you got to remember now, there's about how many sites?
Probably about close to 600 now.
Close to 600 sites. So times that by 2 people, so that's 1,200 people fighting for 10 for 8 washers and 8 dryers.
Yeah, people have actually gone out of the park into town to use the laundry because they got tired of waiting for days for there to be an empty spot for them to wash their clothes.
So now we're talking about the place is starting to look like a trailer park. Well, yeah, it is. So there's roughly, I'm going to say 50 poultry sites, and probably 80% of them, people live on them. They're building sheds, they're building giant gazebos with pallets.
If you see the fences up there, in the rules it specifically says no dog fences or pens.
And yet probably 65% of people just putting up fences, buildings on pallets. It doesn't matter. You can build what you want, where you want, when you want.
Oh, and the sheds, you're supposed to get written permission from the general manager so he can tell you where to build it. And people are just building sheds wherever they want.
Now this park also has which is known as the 10-year rule. Now the 10-year rule is you got to take pictures of your RV to make sure that it's okay. And that one right there, well, that one passed the test. What is that, like a 1978?
Oh, I don't know. Let me tell you how old it is.
That's beautiful. Really beautiful. As you can see, it's no holds barred. You can pretty much just do whatever you want. This back part out here goes to the new part, which is what's desirable.
As you can see, these sites are much closer together than the sites in the first part that was built.
Here's another building right here on the left. That's been being built now for a year.
Yeah. For a year.
So this part right here, this is phase 2, which has been open, what, 8 months, 9 months?
This has been open since November of 2021.
So November of 2021, and they're just starting to work on the second bathroom. So everybody, of course, is cramming for one bathroom. Also, you got to remember there's only one swimming pool for all these people. And they're going to be up to 1,000 sites added and one swimming pool with a capacity of 52.
And the capacity of the pool, I believe, is only 53 people.
Is it 53? I thought it was 52.
No, I think it's 53. And there's way over that on the weekends. And like I said, there was a person heard outside at like a Dollar General on her phone. One of the residents overheard them saying that, get the kids ready, we're getting ready to go to the free pool at Keystone.
People putting 2 trailers and broken down cars. There's a broken down car here on our left on their sites. All that, just everywhere. You can pretty much, it's looking like a trailer park right. This has only been open since
November.
It's looking like a trailer park. Crabs shoved under their trailers. This road that we're driving on, as you can see, the car in front, you can barely fit 2 cars down this road. In other words, you have to drive, or 2 pickups drive down here. You have to drive on the grass in order to get by each other. This park has only been open since November, and they made it like this.
Yeah,
part of the road we're flooding on a major storm, the water was up so high, it'll be up halfway up the driveways, up inside the RV wheels. It floods about 3 feet higher than what you see here.
Yeah, and if you have a car in the driveway, it'll get flooded too.
And the best thing about it is management says, if this place is not for you, then move on. In other words, like it or leave it. Now we're heading up to a corner which is pretty dangerous because it's only about, I don't know, 10 feet wide. So imagine coming down here with a 40-foot trailer in a brand new RV park trying to make these corners.
Yeah, you can't use a car in a golf cart. You have to, one of them has to get out of the way so you can get through.
It's a pretty fun time coming down here, and it's pretty entertaining watching these people try to back up these 40-foot trailers to their site. Now we're going to see the quality of the park. Here's a site coming up, actually 2 sites, one to your left and one straight ahead. The one to your left is, you know, you've got to remember this has only been here since November. Look how uneven the site is. They actually made it this way. And the one across the street, if you have enough blocks of wood, then you'd be okay with this site. It's probably off level by, I'm going to say 4 feet.
Yeah.
Here's another road that floods and
Yeah, water comes down this road. Yeah. Oh, and here's another thing too.
Management.
People love pallets around here. You're not allowed to use them. But
it's one of the rules, you can't use pallets, but this is how management takes care of their park.
yeah, they had a gazebo up.
And it blew over, and they just left it here. These people ain't even here. They haven't been here for weeks.
Yeah.
And management drives past it, and they're okay with it.
It's been laying here for, like a week,
The
week and a half.
manager, Ken Lloyd, and
Cindy, the park manager.
Ken Lloyd and Cindy, the park manager, both managers.
Dale, the operations manager.
This is all allowed. This is what they do. This is a brand new RV resort. They say it's the best RV resort in Florida.
Yeah.
What did you say it was? The flagship?
The flagship.
And if you look over to your right on that red roof building, they say it's advertised as a heated pool. Well, it is not a heated pool. He says that those are solar panels. They are not solar panels. Once you get over there, I'll show you a closer look.
Yeah, when we touched base on it a little bit ago, they're literally shades.
They're literally black window shades laying over pipes. And the pipe water just flows back into the pool. It's a warming system that's used mostly up north that only warms the water 3 to 4 degrees. So in the wintertime, when it's, say, I don't know, 50 degrees out or 45 degrees out here in North Florida, the water will be about 48. Mm-hmm. So if that's good swimming for you, jump in.
I can't believe they're letting people live in gazebos, sheds.
Again, everything is on pallets.
And everything's on pallets. They're not supposed to use pallets, but they use pallets. Because there's no inspection here. There's no rules.
Here's a retention pond that they built, and the road is out there. And they just got this one. We're going to walk over to it.
There's the road, the main road.
So instead of putting drainage in, what they did is they just pulled everything up. And there's a pipe. That's the inlet pipe. That's the pipe that comes out. That's beautiful work, as you can see. And then over there is the other pipe where all the sewer drains come in. And if you look towards the back wall, there was 2x4s all over that back wall. There must have been 50 2x4s. And the maintenance men and the general manager were out there with 2x4s, shoving them inside the ground. because the water breached through the back and eroded it.
In the middle of a storm.
In the middle of a storm and eroded it and flooded the road out there.
Yeah, it was like a whole brand new canal.
But it was never fixed. Instead of fixing it, they waited for the water to cut down and they hit the woods.
Yeah, you can see the craftsmanship of the pond.
Right here.
How it's eroding. This is a resort, people.
It's all tearing up all the...
Yeah.
Yeah, eroding.
This is a resort.
Internet never works. Cable never works. The owner will give a bulletin. I mean, the manager will give a bulletin if there's a storm coming.
And if you're looking at this empty site that we drove on, this is probably the cleanest one we've seen in here. They don't clean off the sites before you come in. We've seen people that have lived on site, and they leave, and the very same day, they'll park somebody there, for a couple days, and never cleaned.
Right here.
Oh, here's one for your enjoyment. Never cleaned.
More over here. You can probably see how uneven these sites are coming up. Right here. As you can see how uneven the site is. Big oil stains everywhere. Right here, they got an emergency. So if an ambulance has to come inside here, like for a heart attack, this site right here, all the concrete's busted in too. So if an ambulance comes inside here to get you, they're going to come through a campsite to get you. That's an emergency entrance. That is locked.
Yep, this is a campsite. They built this first, and then they were like, oopsie, we need an emergency, and so they built this.
Better hope there's nobody camping here when your trail is on fire.
Right. And, this is the quality of the work, too. Look how this is all...
This is pretty much how every 11-month-old, 10-month-old site is. 8-month-old site.
Yeah. And then you have, your weeds.
And your
and then this is also the new, this irrigation system's newer than ours. This has only been since November of 2021, and this doesn't work either. So they have the same people that put our irrigation system in do this, and it doesn't work. Well, here's some more cracks. More cracks. More weeds. Brand new site.
The manager of the park never overlooked a thing. Really straight. Up here you're going to see the wagons. Now there's a YouTube video already out there where the manager, Ken Lloyd, says they're going to have the wagons in a corral.
In the back of the park.
In the back of the park.
In the wooded area.
In the wooded area.
Around a campsite.
Well, first we're going to show you this grass right here.
Oh, yeah.
That they put down, what is that called? The little patches of grass. What's it called? Sod?
Sod.
They put down sod.
They ran out.
They ran out. So then they just left it. So they just left it here. They didn't bother going down getting more sod and, I don't know, finishing it. So they just left it here, just like that. That's been 7 months.
And here's the covered wagons. As you can see behind this one, they put a vehicles entering highway. They just did that recently.
So you get a big yellow light flashing in your see-through tent every night.
Yeah.
And as you can see too, the tents they're greatly equipped with, I don't know, 2 chairs and a little tiny crappy table.
Yeah.
That's all you get. You would figure they'd put, like a barbecue thing in so you could eat. Or how about a fire ring, like they did back in the times when they actually used wagons.
Yeah, they also have picnic tables that are in the post office area.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
Here's a macerator to your right. This is what macerates all the waste, all the solid waste from the toilets. They got it right next to the road near the clubhouse and right across from, let's see, 3 of the wagons.
Yeah.
So you could smell, well, I'll say it, shit, all day and all night.
Yeah, it stinks really bad.
And
here's the clubhouse.
Here's the clubhouse, where if you say the wrong thing to a neighbor, you'll get an eviction letter. This is the pond. It's supposed to have lighted lights on it so you can see it at night, but they've never worked.
Yeah. It's broke. They never fixed it. Oh, and then here's another part of the road that they had to dig up.
Like 5 times.
Yeah.
Because the clubhouse was closed, I don't know what, 45, 50 days?
Yeah.
Because the fire system didn't work.
And then here's the wire that they leave out.
They dug up and just, left them there. See the power wires just laying there? Over here is more power wires just coming out of the ground that they just left there. And then none of these lights work. None of these lights in this island work or ever work.
Yeah. Oh, and up here on your left, you're going to see a propane tank. But don't get excited because it's not filled. It's just there for looks.
It's just there for looks. You can't use it. It's been there for, what, 10 months? A year?
He keeps telling us the next month it'll be open.
He'll say the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month, the next week, the next 2 weeks. That's been going on a year. And now he just forgot about it.
Yeah.
So now everybody just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
It's never worked. It probably never will work.
We have to have an outside propane company come in if we need propane. Oh, and here, let's take you to the
guard shack.
Yeah.
Well, first here's the office. This is the office that you go to. As you can see, there's no staging lanes. They never put any actual lane lines in, so everybody just drives where they want. People drive on the wrong side of the road here because you have no idea what to do. The office does not sell anything. There's no firewood there. There's no food. There's no eggs. There's no propane.
There's camping equipment.
There's no camping parts, no hoses, nothing. Forget it. You are totally out of luck. So if you rely on Amazon and can wait 3 or 4 days, you're okay. By the way, your mail gets delivered to a place outside the park. So if they say mail service, they don't. You got to get your mail at a different address, not at this address. As you can see, here's the guard shack, but it's not a guard shack because when we came here, the manager told us it's just for looks. It's just a deterrent, and of course, there is no guard. So we're going to go past the office, and then we're going to show you how to get your mail. So behind this building, outside this wall, is another address.
Yeah. When we first got here, it's a pavilion that the restaurant would have entertainment in.
This is a restaurant that has nothing to do with this park. It's a different address.
So a few months ago, they put up this gate.
So this is how you get your mail.
Totally not secured because you can see my husband says, they said that they were going to put a keypad on it. Never did. Anybody, actually, we've witnessed people on the other side just stick their finger through, open it up, and come on in. So this is our mail. As you can see, underneath the pavilion, they used to have entertainment at. So they went ahead and ruined it to put a mail room.
So we are outside the park in another address. This has nothing to do with the park.
Nope.
If you look to your left, that's the park.
That's the park.
So they're actually taking your mail and leaving with it, and then you got to come get it at another address. The postmaster says, I refuse to drop mail off there. So they drop mail off at the office, and then they take it out here and sort of thing.
Yes, this is all part of Florida Cracker Kitchen.
Yeah.
And then if you want to play putt-putt golf, again, they advertise it as it's in the park. It is not. It's outside.
And the putt-putt golf is so bad you can't play it.
It's outside in front of the Florida Cracker Kitchen, as you can see.
And as you can see, it's not open. It's never open. It's unplayable. All the grass, all the carpet is all tore up. The weeds are so overgrown you can't even stand inside there. None of the attractions work. The water doesn't. There's nothing to do with water in there. It's all shut down.
Yeah.
And they issue that as a.
They charge people.
They charge people.
If you don't live in the park, they charge you
and
to
you
come
can
play
see
in
just
it.
how bad it is from here. They charge people $8 to go inside there, and there isn't one thing that is working.
No. Over there, where you see the Black Panther on top of that, that's supposed to be a waterfall. Never worked.
Never worked. They don't. They never put one penny in. They haven't even clipped the tree yet. You hit your arms and you hit your body on something that you try to walk around in.
Yeah, you run into trees because the trees aren't trimmed, and the speakers up there stopped working. Their stereo system stopped working, and they don't do anything. They don't do anything with it. And again,
Shut it down.